Hello everybody and welcome back to Bring Your Own Popcorn, and welcome to day number 6 of the 12 Days of Christmas, where I watch and review a new Christmas film every single day. And in today's episode I'll be watching and reviewing Miracle on 34th Street. So over the next 2 videos on the channel I'll actually be doing something quite interesting. So in this video I'll be watching and reviewing the original Miracle on 34th Street, and in the next episode of the 12 Days of Christmas, so that'll be day number 7, I'll be watching and reviewing the remake of Miracle on 34th Street with Richard Attenborough, I think it is, and Mara Wilson, to see how the remake lives up to the original. I'm actually really excited for this film. I've been meaning to watch it for so long. I've been meaning to watch both for so long. I love the concept of the movie, this whole court case to prove if Santa is in fact real, if this man who says he's Santa is actually Santa. I absolutely love that concept, and I've heard that both these films are really good. I also love to, when I can, check out older films, because I feel like all I really watch are movies from like 1970 onwards. I never actually check out much from the 60s, the 50s, or in this case the 40s. This film came out in 1947. I feel like I slack on films that came out in this kind of time period. So I'm really excited to check out a film from the 40s today. So without further ado, let's crack on and watch Miracle on 34th Street. Okay, so here we are, Miracle on 34th Street from 1947. Only an hour and 37 minutes. A man called Kris Kringle causes a stir when he's hired as a department store Santa Claus. So not a massive description, and that's kind of what I knew about the movie anyway. I do know the case goes to court, I believe, in the film. But yeah, really excited to check this one out. It looks really Christmassy and really magical. So let's do it. Let's watch Miracle on 34th Street.
All-time family classic celebrates its 60th anniversary with an all-new special edition of Miracle on 34th Street.
It's wonderful.
In full color, including the original black and white classic, digitally remastered with all new features.
I intend to prove that Mr. Kringle is Santa Claus.
I've got a feeling he is Santa Claus, Mother.
Miracle on 34th Street. Own it this holiday season.
Okay, so I just got done watching Miracle on 34th Street, and whilst I don't think that this is one of the best Christmas films of all time, because I regularly see this movie on people's top 10 Christmas films of all time lists, I still thought that this was a real charming and good watch, with a real sense of the magic of Christmas throughout the full thing. As I said, I thought the premise of this movie is really original and very interesting. It's actually pretty genius, in my opinion. It is such a good premise for a movie. The whole idea of a court case happening to prove or disprove the existence of Santa Claus is just really enthralling and real genius, in my opinion. I really love how open to interpretation the movie is, and whilst the court case does have a definitive conclusion, you are left wondering if the man was really Santa Claus or not. It really leaves it open to your own interpretation and to your own judgment, which is honestly something I really liked. All the stuff set in the courtroom is easily the best parts of the film. I just wish we got a little bit more of that. Before going into the film, I thought that the court case segment would take up at least half of the movie. I thought it would be the majority of the film would be this court case, because the film's kind of marketed with that standpoint, like, we are going to prove in court or disprove if Santa Claus is real, but it felt really shoehorned in at the end. The film was just about 1 hour and 40 minutes long, and the court case segment only lasted about 30 minutes towards the end of the movie, which really is a shame, because they could have gone into a lot more depth with this stuff, and it is by far the most interesting part of the movie to me. So it just is a bit of a shame that it feels very shoehorned in at the end. Don't get me wrong, all the stuff that came before the court case is really good. They've done some really great character work and great character development. but it just seemed to drag a little bit for me. And when that court case segment happened, the movie kind of came alive. I was like, okay, this is the stuff I'm interested in. And whilst I was interested in the stuff that came before it, it did feel like it went on for far too long. Either extending the film by about half an hour and letting this court case just tie up nicely and just expand on it, or cutting down the first 2 acts of the movie by about 10 or 20 minutes would have made for a much more enjoyable watch for me. On the whole though, I really did like this script. The dialogue is real nice. It's got a real nice charm to it and really nice humour to it as well, which I think has aged just wonderfully. Sometimes with these older films, the humour hasn't aged particularly well. But because the humour is more aimed towards children here, I think, the humour's actually aged like fine wine. A lot of it got a lot of laughs out of me. And when the film wants to be serious and the film wants to be emotional, it pulls that off really, really well too. The film just has a real nice Christmassy tone to it. It's probably, out of the films I've watched so far, the one that I felt the most Christmassy whilst watching, so it has to be doing something right. I just wish the pacing was a little bit better. Just knowing how to structure the 3 acts of the movie and not shoehorn in the 3rd act, it really feels like it's rushed and the other 2 acts drag on a bit. Just letting that 3rd act play out a bit more would have been a much more enjoyable watch for me. But I still really want to praise this film's strengths. I thought the direction was fairly decent too. I watched the black and white cut of the movie because I know you can get a colour cut and you can get a black and white cut. I watched the original black and white cut of the movie, and honestly, I think it added something. I think it added a nice sense of coziness to the film. It honestly reminds me of the films that I would walk in to my gran watching at Christmas time. It just added a nice sense of... It just added to the whole Christmas atmosphere, I thought. Whilst on the whole, I don't think the direction is truly exceptional, I do think that it is very, very competent. It's shot very nicely with some really nice editing as well. And there's some really nice long, continuous takes, which you don't see much nowadays. Which, whenever I see those long takes that actually look like a bit of effort was put into making them right, I can always applaud a film for doing that. Personally, I would have liked the direction to have a bit more of a unique feel, a more distinct feel to differentiate itself from other Christmas films that were coming out around that time. Because the direction of this film, and whilst I've been praising it, honestly, the feel of this film feels the exact same as other Christmas films that were coming out around the same time. I would have liked this film to have a more distinct direction, just to separate itself from other Christmas movies that were coming out around the same time period. Like, this film, to me, feels, direction-wise, feels the exact same to the likes of It's a Wonderful Life or such. However, the performances, for me, were easily the strongest aspect of the film. The performances were fantastic. I have a theory that Edwin Gwenn just is Santa. He just is. He just oozes the warmth and the friendly nature of Santa Claus, and he just gets the character so damn well. Something that I feel is difficult to do, and a lot of actors make this mistake, is to actually play Santa with some level of seriousness. A lot of actors go in trying to play Santa quite goofy and quite silly and quite over the top. But playing Santa when he's serious is a very, very difficult thing to do. And I think Gwenn pulls this off absolutely sublimely. Maureen O'Hara was brilliant too. I can honestly see why she's one of the most celebrated actresses of this time period. She was fantastic here. John Payne gives a real good performance as the lawyer representing Claus. His character is very charismatic, very charming, and he pulls this off really, really well. But honestly, the person who stole the show for me was Natalie Wood as Susan. She's just an amazing child actress who gives this real nice, enigmatic performance. I think she's just fantastic in this movie. The supporting cast were all fantastic too. They were absolutely great. Honestly, this film was just casted absolutely superbly. Overall, Miracle on 34th Street was a real nice, charming, cosy Christmas film to watch. And whilst I don't think it is one of my personal favourite Christmas films, actually it is far from it, I do really appreciate what this film done for the Christmas subgenre. And I thought it was a really good watch. Miracle on 34th Street gets my recommendation, and I would give it a 7 out of 10. But that's just my opinion. Please put down in the comments below what you think of Miracle on 34th Street. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's just alright? I love to read your comments and I try and respond to every single one of them. Please join me back here tomorrow at 6 PM for day 7 of the 12 Days of Christmas, where I'll be watching and reviewing for the first time Miracle on 34th Street, the remake. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, all that jazz, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.